Hi, I'm Mrs. Paccione. I'm your child's AP Calculus AB teacher this year. This year I teach two sections of the course, periods 2 and 6. The first thing I like to do is go over the sequence of courses that have led your students to AP Calculus AB. So in order to be in AP Calculus AB, which is essentially Calculus 1, your child should have successfully completed last year either Unified 4 or Pre-Calculus Enriched, and this year we joined together for AP Calculus AB. If your child is a junior this year, then we are going to be headed toward AP Calculus BC next year, which is college level Calculus 2. And for the juniors, I want to mention there are some math department electives. So we offer AP statistics as well as various computer programming and computer science courses. So I'll be talking about that in the spring with the students when it comes time for scheduling. And they're all eligible for AP statistics. And for comp sci or computer programming, we offer half-year, full-year honors and AP courses. So I'll go over all that with the students when it comes time for scheduling and go over any questions they have. Now, one thing that usually comes up in back to school night for AP Calc AB is the question of how is this different from Unified and Pre-Calculus Enriched? Well, one thing that's different is it's a college level course. So that's the first thing that's different. It is a weighted course. The students coming from Unified were in a weighted course, but Pre-Calculus Enriched was not. So a weighted course means that the grade earned that incorporates into the GPA will be raised up. It'll be higher. So, for example, a student who earns an A in an advanced placement course, instead of having a 4.0 incorporated into the GPA, they're going to have a 5.0. So that additional weight is given to their GPA for averages of A, B, and C. If a child has a D average, hopefully we won't have those, but if it is a D average, that is not weighted. That would be a 1.0, according to the most recent information that's been shared with me. So that's one difference. Another difference is the flow of this course. In both Unified 4 and Pre-Calculus Enriched, I've taught both of those for many years. Those courses, students often find them kind of choppy or disjoint because there are many different topics in trigonometry and algebra, and it feels like you're learning different things from week to week, from month to month. AP Calculus AB has a much nicer flow to it. So we're going to study limits, derivatives, integrals, and their applications, and that's the entire year. So it's a much nicer flow for a course compared to last year's class. Another difference, the AP stands for Advanced Placement. So what that means is in May, the students have the option to take an AP or Advanced Placement exam, and they may have the opportunity to earn college credit depending on the score that they get and depending on the college that they're headed to, if that's their path. So the AP exams are scored on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest score and 3 is passing. So if they get a 3, 4, or 5, they have passed the AP exam. But I cannot say for certain whether or not the college will give credit for that because it depends on the school if that is your child's path. Some colleges will accept a score of 3, 4, or 5 and give credit for Calculus 1. Some scores require a 4 or a 5. Some schools only accept a 5 for giving credit. And there are a few schools out there that don't accept any AP classes for credit. So until we know the college decisions and scores, we won't know for certain whether or not the child would be getting credit for Calculus 1 in college or not. But that is a certain possibility for many students. And those are some differences between the course they were in last year and the course this year. The next thing I want to mention is the Google Classroom website. So I'm going to take you over there. And the Google Classroom website, this is my period 6 class. The period 2 class looks very much the same. And I headed over to the classwork tab here. The way that I have it organized is I'll keep the current chapter up top. And then I always have the general information and resources here. And as we finish each chapter, I'll drop it down so it's out of the way for the students. They can focus on the current information instead of the past. So in terms of the general information and resources, you'll see a course information and topic outline listed there. I've gone over that with your students and they can pull that up and go over it with you. It has some of the information about grading, course expectations, and things like that. If you have any questions about the information in there, please do reach out. And what I primarily use Google Classroom for is for announcing homework and tests and quizzes. So when we have homework, I will always announce in class that we have homework, and then I'll post the assignment in Classroom. And tests and quizzes will always be announced ahead of time in class, and then I will follow up also with a post in Classroom. I also use Google Classroom to sometimes post supplemental review materials, study guides, answer keys, things like that. So that's how we'll be using Google Classroom. And since I mentioned homework, I'll elaborate on that a little bit. For homework, I do try to assign homework almost every night. And that's another difference from last year's course to this year's course. When I teach pre-calculus enriched and unified 4, I aim for 20 minutes of homework a night. For AP Calculus, I aim for 30 minutes a night because it is a college level advanced placement course. This is the textbook for this course. Hopefully you've seen it at home. We have not made use of it yet, but it should be at home and it can stay at home through the entire year. They don't need to bring it in daily into school. And the homework won't always be from the textbook. I do a variety of worksheets and textbook, and sometimes we'll utilize websites. And occasionally we'll have a night off to study. And a way you can support from home is to remind your child that a night off to study is not a night off. It is a night to redo practice problems from study guides and homeworks and notes and things like that, and get some extra practice. The next thing on my list is just to mention supplies. The one thing I really would strongly recommend, if at all possible, is to have your child have their own graphing calculator. This one here is a TI-84. TI stands for Texas Instruments. That's the name of the brand. And 84 is the version of the calculator. If your child has a TI-83, that's fine. If they have a TI-89, that's fine. If you're going to go out and purchase a graphing calculator, the TI-84 is the one I strongly recommend. It best suits most of our needs. There are many versions of the TI-84. This one is the TI-84 Plus. Any TI-84 would be great. There's a TI-84 Silver, a TI-84 Color, a TI-84 Silver Plus. And I did discuss this with the students. So if you are going to go out and purchase a graphing calculator, feel free to reach out or have your child reach out to me so we can make sure they're getting one that's going to best suit their needs. And if you do not want to purchase a graphing calculator this year, you absolutely do not need to. There is a graphing calculator on the PARC or NJSLA website, and I have shown your students how to access that. So they always have access to that as well if they don't have their own handheld graphing calculator. And the last thing on my list here is just to go back and make sure that you have my contact information. So this is my email address. That is by far the best way to reach me. So feel free to reach out anytime you have questions or concerns. And if you ever would like to talk on the phone, you're welcome to call and leave a message at the school, and I will call you back. But the best way to set up a phone call is to email me and let me know you'd like to talk on the phone, because then we can email and arrange a time for me to call you. The email, I get to check email a number of times during the day. But the telephone, we share one for 14 people. So it's going to be a longer process. It'd be much easier to set it up over an email. And just to let you know, I will reach out should I notice any pattern of decline or anything that I would find concerning. I'll certainly reach out to you. If it's a one missing homework, I generally don't reach out for one missing homework because that does happen sometimes. And similarly with one low test or quiz score, I don't usually reach out for one low test or quiz score. Because what I like to do is try to talk to the student first and see if we can figure out what happened and what we can do differently to make sure that we're more successful on the next one. But should there be any pattern of decline in test quiz scores, I'll certainly reach out. And likewise, if there's a pattern of missing homeworks, you'll hear from me as well. But please feel free to reach out for updates or if you have questions or concerns at any time. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to having a great year with your kids. Thank you. Bye-bye.